So I just gotta say that this is like the second or third time that I've sat down today to film this, and like I've got multiple takes. And long story short, I was in my head so fucking hard about whether or not I'm doing the right thing, or this is something that I need to be doing, or like how I need to be spending my time if I'm doing the right thing was something that I heavily ruminated on unintentionally, and it fucking sucked because I was like, am I like, should I be doing this at all? Like, is this worth it? And I almost just didn't do it. I was almost just like, fuck it. I'm not gonna do it again. I'm not gonna do it ever again. I need my water. Give me 1 minute. But essentially, I have my water up here too. I had put myself in a box. I put myself in a box and it fucked me up bad. And that box was being a tarot reader. Because tarot is a tool. It is a tool of divination. It is a tool at the end of the day. I can channel without tarot cards. I can channel off the cuff with nothing. I channel downloads all the fucking time. But for some reason, I put myself in the box of tarot reader. I have to do a tarot reading. Is the tarot reading what I need to do? No, I don't need to do a fucking tarot reading. I'm going to pull some fucking oracle cards. And whoever ends up watching this and you've stuck around this long, I have a feeling the same card might come out. It might come out because I didn't get it on film this time, but earlier when I started to do this video, literally I started to do this video and I got a call. So in the middle of the video, so yeah. So I didn't continue from there. I was just kind of like, fuck it. Okay, I guess I'm not supposed to do this. And it was because I needed to fix my mindset. Okay. And I'm realizing I didn't close down from earlier, so let's just clear the energy up in here. Faux show. Because, well, we don't want stank ass energy up in here. Want to channel clearly and concisively. You feel me? So the card that I pulled out of here earlier was the seal card, and it said imagination, and the quote on it, I do believe, had to do with channeling your creativity. Okay. Excuse me, I literally just ate. Immerse yourself in artistic and creative expression. Your subconscious mind is the playground of your imagination, which waits to be called out by your willingness to unleash the bond of personal convention and societal restraint to challenge and surpass the usual limits you've placed upon yourself regarding artistic expression. This means nothing less than to release your familiar sense of identity and stretch the boundaries of your creative mind. It is not a matter of believing or disbelieving that you have talents of any kind of creative pursuits. It is a matter of surrendering to the imaginative impulse that's begging to be expressed in some form. So drop underneath those restrictive beliefs and tap into the most natural drive towards creative, artistic expression. Perhaps something that you've always wanted to do but have stopped yourself until now. Feel it in all its depth and dimensions, then throw yourself into it. Whether it's singing, dancing, painting, drawing, writing, or some other path. This is food for your heart and soul. Don't put it off any longer. It's time to take the plunge. And so earlier I was kind of like, I guess that's also for me, ? So I just stopped what I was doing and I went and I did something else for a minute. I needed a journal because I don't think I did that today up until now, and it's been a busy day. So I just got new glasses. Well, I didn't get new glasses. I went to the eye doctor to get new glasses, and I I picked out some new ones that I've never had before. I've had 3 different pairs of glasses before this. Big boxy ones, like, I don't know, think stereotypical nerd glasses. I had a pair of those, and then I had a pair of like the metal underwire with like the thick black top. And then I had a pair of like cat eye metal gold glasses. And I didn't like them. I didn't like any of them. Like, sure, they were fine, but I don't like them. And so, at least the most recent ones I had, the cat-eyed ones, I wasn't really a fan. I knew I was not getting those again. And because I think what I didn't like the most is that they hid my eyebrows. I didn't like not being able to see my own eyebrows when I looked in the reflection, because eyebrows are really important. Like, we have them for a reason. They help, they're a tool for communication. And I was just like, I don't want to do that again. And because, like, I don't know, the ones that I had, maybe I fucked up the nose bridge pit, but whatever it was, it kept being like weird and cockeyed. I couldn't fix my glasses the way I wanted them to be fixed. So I just got smaller framed, simple, clear glasses. And I'm very excited because they'll definitely match with anything that I wear because they're clear as fuck. And then they're just like, I don't know, I don't need them to be big and showy. I just need them when I read. Like, yeah, but I'm really excited to get them. They'll be here in a couple weeks. Let me go get my chapstick. You need to take better care of yourself, because before this, I just ate dinner. Nobody's here. I had to make sure that I ate dinner. I had to get my water, and I have to get my chapstick, because me having dry lips drives me fucking crazy. A girl has 2 comforts in life: water and chapstick. So I'm gonna go get my chapstick. But yeah, try to get better at recognizing your own needs and what your body is asking of you. This is my chapstick. I made it myself. I really like making stuff like this because I get to tweak it every time I do it. I get to do something new whenever I want. I get to try new, like, flavors, use different oils and scents and stuff. I get to use different wax to fat ratios to change not only the texture that it applies and stays on the lips, but also how thick and hard or soft it is to pick up out of the jar. So get on your craft and shit. What else does the people watching this needs to hear right now? I keep hearing I don't think it's Five Nights at Freddy's. Maybe it is Five Nights at Freddy's. Oh my gosh, no, because I have to say it. I opened last video with, hello everybody, my name is Markiplier, because I just couldn't help myself. Look, I cut to the seal again. Yeah, it's time to get in your creative energy, boo. And the turtle with retreat, stop trying to make things happen. So that is I get that very often because I be trying to force shit and I be feeling like I'm stuck and stagnant and I hate it and I'm uncomfortable in it and I'm like, okay, I have to do something. I have to make something happen right now. And then they're like, no, you don't. There's so much happening behind the scenes that you have no idea. If you, like, okay, I still have to, like, actively do this all the time, but zooming out from just your life. Don't zoom so far out, but zoom out enough and acknowledge the people in your, like, immediate vicinity, your community. They have their own lives too, right? They go about their day and they're doing different things, and they have their own stuff going on. They have other people that they interact with and other situations playing out. And so with that, there's shit happening that you're not aware of. So, and this was also something very prominent in the last video, because I started it when a storm was coming in, so there was no light, and it was like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and so I had to light my candle. I had to light a candle, get some candlelight ambiance, but the camera didn't focus. The camera didn't focus for like 2 minutes until I said, there are things happening that you don't know about. There are things happening behind the scenes. And then the camera focused. So that is incredibly relevant. Stop trying to make things happen, because there are things happening right now involving other people and other situations. And it's like literally divine timing. Like how I got my computer. I literally got it from my old landlord, who had tenants up and leave and like leave him everything in the house. So he was like, I need the stuff cleared out of this house. Do you want any of it? And that day I just happened to be there and talk to my mom about it and be like, yeah, let's go. So I got a PC computer because I was in the right place at the right time, sort of deal. Like, and what had happened, I don't want to disclose that information. It was a couple, and the older man had a stroke. Older man. There was not, it was, I mean, it doesn't. The man had a stroke. And yeah. So, but like, none of that could be forced. None of that. It was literally like the domino effect thing. Or what was that super popular? We got Trust in Your Higher Self on the bottom with Eagle, which is the spirit card. And okay, I lost my train of thought about whatever I was talking about beforehand. So let's get a card or two. So what else does this collective need to hear? What else does the collective watching this need to hear? Okay. So we got, you taking this? Yeah. Okay. So we got koala, owl, and porcupine. Right. Koala is the card of empathy. It says, speak less, listen more. Right. Then we have the owl, which is the card of omens. And it says, pay attention to signs. And on these cards, listen more and signs are in all caps. And then porcupine on the bottom said, oh my god, there's the seal! The seal is underneath of the porcupine. I'm not fucking kidding you. The seal was right underneath the porcupine. Get in your creative energy, boo. So porcupine says, innocence, free yourself, all caps, from guilt and shame. And that's a huge thing too. I get it. It's really fucking hard. It's really fucking hard. It took me years. I'm still not free. Not like yet. I don't know if I ever fully will be, but it's being able to recognize where we are feeling guilt and shame, and not judging ourselves so harshly, because it's hurt people. We have reasons behind the actions that we take, So let's start with koala. And I flip to the turtle again. That says, okay, so I'm going to read this card too. Actually, we'll come back to turtle. Let's focus on the cards on the deck. On the Okay, I'm stuttering a fuck ton today. This is not the first time I've been stuttering like nobody's business. Which I'm guessing isn't that. Also, before we even start anything, I have to talk about, because I'm being called to this, but unmasking. If you are a neurodivergent individual, or literally anybody who is living in inauthenticity and like hiding your true self, because probably for some reason in the past you were shamed for being yourself or ridiculed or punished for it, which not cool, not right. But also you don't get to take that out on other people too. Like, hating on people for expressing themselves authentically is you taking your anger out on them because you feel that you don't get to do what they do, which isn't true. You have the option to express yourself authentically, but you have to allow yourself to do such. And it's fucking scary. It's scary as shit. Fuck, I still get scared doing it. But it's a choice. And it's not going to be easy. Like, drawing your conscious awareness to it is only the first step. There are other reasons that, like, you have to figure out why the anger is prompted. Anger is a cover-up. Anger is a cover-up for another emotion, whether that's fear, whether that's pain, whether that's sadness. Babe, anger ain't shit. Honestly. I mean, it is, where it's like incredibly powerful and potent, but it's like, what the fuck is the word? It's not a ploy. Maybe it is a ploy. It's a lie, that's for sure. Anger's a lie. And last night I was straight up in sensory debt and walking the line between crash out and cry. But the line that I was walking was shut down and ignore all my emotions and like detach from my body. And so when I actually looked around at all the things that I needed to do and became immediately overwhelmed, I like started freaking out. But in the me starting to freak out, I actually allowed myself to express. I allowed my body and my mind to work together in moving and coping in the ways that they wanted to. And so I started like physically stimming and coping and like releasing stress and my emotions that way. And I did a neck tick that I've not done since COVID, because that time in my life I was actually accommodating my neurodivergence for the first time with a community that I had found online that was supportive and like encouraging. And so I felt safe by myself in real life, but not alone via the internet, to explore my neurodivergence, essentially. And I have this one thing where I don't want to do it because that's very vulnerable. That's very vulnerable. See, right now I am actively afraid of doing this because I have that, it's still yet internalized ableism. And fear of vulnerability and of expressing my neurodiversity and being autistic and having ADHD. And before, like, I got ridiculed for doing it because there's nothing wrong with you. What do you like? But like, little did we know, everybody knew something was off, but they were just like, no, we're just gonna give you shit instead. Anyways, that's crazy. But it's that. I had to do it. But yeah, and so I've had that neck tick, but I have literally suppressed that for years at this point. I forgot that I fucking had it until I did it last night. That's how hard and for how long that I have been masking, that I have had this tick for years, but I have suppressed it because I have not felt safe enough to unmask, even in my own presence. You need to listen to yourself more and try unmasking more. And with that, it'll require less judgment and scrutiny from yourself. That's what I'm getting with the koala and the empathy. You gotta have, one, more empathy for yourself, and then two, listen to your body more. Stop trying to think of everything and literally just like feel it out. And that's really hard. I know. I'm standing with you. I know it's really hard. But it's only going to get harder if you don't start addressing it. So the way repression works, right, is we ignore something. It's ignoring our shadow. I think you have a lot of shadow work to do. But repression is ignoring whatever the fuck we're running away from, right? The only thing that we cannot ever run away from in this life is ourselves. Wherever you go, whatever relationships you enter, whatever careers you take, whatever paths you build, you will always be there. So self-love and self-acceptance are the key pieces to happiness. I have a fortune cookie, I have a fortune from a fortune cookie in my car that says the key to happiness is self-compassion. Like, it's on my dashboard. That is incredibly relevant. So the way repression works is, so whatever you're ignoring, whatever you're running away from, the scary emotions, the traumas, the things that we don't want to face, the things that we don't want to look at, the more, think of it as a big mountain, right? It starts little, starts small. But the more we ignore it, the more we suppress it, the more it builds. And the scarier it gets. So next thing you know, time goes by, years pass, it's a fucking mountain. And nobody wants to climb the hell mountain. Nobody wants to scale that. But the longer you ignore it, the longer you put it off, the harder it's going to be, the scarier it's going to be, the worse it's going to get. It's like a cancer. The more you ignore it, the more it goes unnoticed, the worse it gets. The stronger it grows, right? So, let me get to reading the koala. Hell of a fucking segue. I'll get better at those with time. Okay, it seems that a lot of folks use... I forget, this one's funny. It's not funny, but like funny. So, koala empathy, speak less, listen more. It seems that a lot of folks use a lot of words. Many more than are really necessary. It's rather narrow to consider communication to always be about words. You can fill the air with words and sometimes even use them to cloud deeper sentiments and feelings. Talking so much can take away from the elegant pleasures inherent in stillness. No, for real. Shout out. It makes me sad. Okay, I'm going to continue this in a minute. But it makes me sad when people try to talk to fill the void. And like, I just be trying to enjoy peace and quiet and coexisting with somebody, and they're just trying to talk to me about nothing. Like, they're talking to me, and it's just empty ass words coming out of their mouth. And I'm like, kindly, I would like you to shut up. Like, what are you even talking about? What are you even saying? What the fuck is John Bork? Like, what? Like, be quiet. But that's because they're running from something. They have not found comfort in stillness because they have things that they have yet to address. Because there are things in this world that we will never fully understand. We want answers. We have worked years to build our credibility, our reputation, working alongside the most renowned professionals in the field. Capturing groundbreaking proof of the paranormal. This is our evidence, our ghost adventures. Once I'd started, I couldn't stop. I couldn't stop. It wasn't an option. I didn't have a choice. I did have a choice, but why would I choose to go against myself like that when clearly I wanted to say it? Clearly and obviously that was something that I wanted to do. If I didn't want to do it, is because I wasn't judging myself for it. I mean, part of me was because I'm like, that's a little silly, but nothing more than that. Embracing my inner fool, my inner jester, if you would. Okay. As the old adage, adage, A-D-A-G-E, I don't know what that means, but it's giving the old tale or something. As the old adage, no, because it's going to piss me off now, because I don't know if it's adage or adage. I don't know. It's giving adage, but I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. Be still and know I am. That's the quote. Be still and know I am. And I am is what... Okay, it's got spiritual ties as well, but we don't have to talk about that right now. If you're curious, Google the Ascended Masters. But I am is used for words of affirmation. Ooh! I'll get some of those out for you. I have a deck of sweary affirmations. So we'll get some of those too in a minute. But I am is the phrase that you use to reprogram your mind and help heal childhood wounds and harmful core beliefs. Talk less and you'll find immense opportunities to not only listen, but to really hear. Even though it might sound strange, you can even hear silence. Get to know others in a different way. Ask simple questions, then tune in. Not only to the words they say, but to more important, the subtle body language in which they express the words. You'll pick up on nuances or feelings and meanings, some that even the speaker isn't aware of. That's how I'm so good at reading people like a fucking book, because I actually listen to the words that they say. And I can hear when they're lying or when they're not being honest or truthful. I'm able to make those... I can tell because I listen when people speak. Ankle crack for confirmation. So, ask simple questions and tune in not only to the words they say, but more important, the subtle body language with which they express the words. You'll pick up nuances and feelings and meanings, some that they even the speaker isn't aware of. Listen closely. Also, I'm claircognizant, so that's another thing. Sometimes I just be knowing shit. But listen closely as you walk through the woods. You can hear the sound of your heartbeat and breathing, the songs of the birds, and the whispery crunch of various critters. make their way through the forest. There was no comma or pause there. Make it a point today to speak as few times as possible and only when absolutely necessary. Instead, use your ears, eyes, and physical senses as a conduit for more profound connection with the understanding of the pause. Let me just reread that whole sentence. Instead, use your ears, eyes, and physical senses as a conduit for a more profound connection with and understanding of the world around you. Sometimes he just be wording things in ways that even I don't understand, and I really like funny worded intellectual. I meant to go for like literature stuff, but okay. Rest, detoxification, safety, sensitivity. So that's koala. And then owl, omens. The card of omens. This is pay attention to the signs. Okay. Again, I keep cutting the frog, which is purification. Clear out the clutter. It's time to clear out and clean up. Okay, so we're reading the frog now. The frog didn't come out, but the frog is relevant. Okay. Okay, I literally I'll show you for proof. I cut the deck to the frog. So, the frog is relevant here. Let me read the frog for you. Excuse me. Anyway, it's time to clear out and clean up. Look for any messy areas in your life and tackle them one at a time. Don't try to do it all at once or you'll become overwhelmed. Start with one corner of your room, one area of your desk, your kitchen, or your closet, and dedicate a couple hours to sorting and sifting. That was always my favorite part of cleaning. Taking everything out and getting everything out in the open and then being able to put it in piles. No, it was always me discovering stuff that I had lost once and then playing with it for a little while and then going back to doing whatever I was supposed to be doing. But the pile sorting of like the keep and not keep was also a good time for a while. For like in the beginning, I fucking hated that because I didn't want to get rid of anything. Anyway. Start with one corner of the room, area of your desk, kitchen, closet. Dedicate a couple hours of sorting and sifting. Recycle and give away as much as you can. Real giveaway. Don't like it. I'm not saying be like hoarderish or like not super lack mindset-y about it. Like obviously if it's in shit condition or like super gross or something like that, don't give it away. But if it's in relatively good condition and someone else can get a good life out of it too and enjoy it, give something away. Because this fucking consumer culture that we live in is so shit. Despise it. Okay. Believe it or not, this process can be one of the most spiritual experiences you'll ever have. Another area to clean out is your body. Drink lots of water for the next few days, and if possible, do a detoxification diet. At the least, eat a vegetarian diet and eliminate alcohol and fatty foods. See how you feel when you do it. Another cleanup job is mental. Abstain from television and newspapers for a while, and as much as possible, avoid negativity in yourself and others who tend to be negative. Clear out and clean up your spiritual practice as well. Do whatever works that helps you feel closer to God, spirit, source, whatever you want to call it, your guides. Whether it's a prayer, meditation, or a walk in the forest, it's simple. It says additional associations: singing, rhythm, rainmaker, sensitivity. Get back into music. Get back into music. Get back into music. Maybe you used to do music, like play in a band or something. Just get back into music. So we got owl and omens. Pay attention to signs. We're gonna go back here. Monkey. I need to tell you because it's coming to me now, but my dog chased like a beaver out of a tree the other day. We were down at the creek and there's some critter, I think it was a beaver, living in the tree roots of this tree, and he got up in there. He chased that sucker out, boy. It made me feel bad because what the fuck? Some big ass dog just came in there and evicted him. For what purpose? But no animals were harmed. Just frightened. Okay, owl, omens, pay attention to signs. To find the answers you're seeking, it's extremely important you pay attention to the signs, especially repetitive ones. These are clues you can see, hear, or feel around you. Sometimes they're subtle, sometimes very obvious. These messages may come through a conversation you overhear, a newspaper headline that you happen to glance at, a friend calling on the phone, or any number of other ways. The key is to be open at this most auspicious time for guidance in the form of these omens. I like the way that they threw in the word auspicious. It added a little charm to it. These are not random occurrences. Although they appear outside of your own skin, they're responding to the call your soul is making, whether or not you're aware of it. These omens are manifestations of Spirit's directives, so it's important to keep an open mind and heart to the cues you're receiving. Don't overanalyze them, but do heed them. By observing with all your senses, the wisdom of the natural world and even the human-made world will speak to you. Additional associations: wisdom, shadows, secrecy, magician. That's the second shadows reference, right? Let me go back to koala. No. What the fuck did we read? I read the frog. Frog. This is the one. No. Was it the seal? I don't know. Sometimes I be forgetting what letters, what order the letters in the alphabet are. Oh, no, I just referenced shadow. I said shadow work. No, because shout out. I used to be so scared of shadow work because I thought it was like demonic or something. Because I was like, what the fuck is that? It's literally discovering your unconscious beliefs, habits, fears, the programming and social conditioning that you have ingested and integrated over your life. That's what shadow work is. It's bringing that to light. And then, at that point, doing the work of actively noticing when it's taking over, when it's stepping in, and making the conscious effort to change it and rewire that. You're carving new neural pathways in your brain, which happens when you take drugs like shrooms or, I don't know about LSD. I'm not saying use those, but it happens. I do not, what's the word? Authorize, no. Condone. I do not condone the use of drugs. I'm just saying that's something that has been proven to do that. New neural networks or whatever. And then porcupine. I flipped to the frog again. The frog has been following me around too, so you're not the only one that's got shit to clear out. No, but I gotta do some digging on that in my free time because I get the signs, right? And brother, they confuse the shit out of me. So much so where I'm like, I start getting mad. I'm like, what the fuck do you want? What do you want? What are you trying to tell me here? And a lot of times I'm either A, not being open to receiving the information that they're trying to give me, being closed-minded and stubborn, and admittedly, yeah, I am pretty closed-minded and stubborn. Sue me. And then, what else? Yeah, other times I just, it's telling me something I don't want to hear, and I'm like actively ignoring it because I don't want to notice that, because if I notice that, that means it's in my conscious awareness and I should probably actually do something about it, because if I don't do something about it, that's a show of my character and my integrity. So yeah, so if we continue to ignore it, it's like not plausible deniability, though that could be one. It's like what's the word? What's the word that men do to avoid doing like house chores and stuff? Weaponized incompetence? It's like using weaponized incompetence against yourself. That's what ignoring shadow work is, pretty much. It's using weaponized incompetence, because you're like, I don't know how to do this. I don't know what that is. I don't know how to do that. What do you mean? And then so just ignoring it, it's repression. But, you know, like I said, as somebody who's fucking been there, I understand why you do it. It's scary. It's hard to do, especially after going your whole life doing it. Like, it's hard to change that. Change is hard. But hard things are still doable things too. It's just not going to be easy. Which I've liked to personally reframe the words hard with the word challenging, because challenge will trigger more of a, personally, it'll trigger more of like a competitive drive. As somebody who was in sports growing up, I like to step up to a good challenge every now and again, because doing the challenge means that it's doable. It's doable, and I can do it if I try hard enough. I hear the crows outside. I don't know. I just point out the crows every time I hear them, because I love the crows. I love the crows so much. So, yeah, maybe don't use weaponized incompetence against yourself, because your higher self knows that you can be better and knows that you want to be better. You just have to do it scared and potentially frustrated. And it's okay to ask for help, and it's okay to struggle. You don't have to do it alone. You don't have to do it alone. You have not only yourself, but you also have your spirit team and your ancestors that have passed over, and your higher self, and like Mother Nature, who is like literally God, pretty much. The creator of all life on Earth. The source, essentially. They are with you, and it's really hard. I understand it's incredibly difficult. I'm watching a spider climb up and down its web out my window, and I can't see its web. I can't see its web, but it makes sense that it's climbing on a web because it's there. There would be no other way for me to fucking see this spider moving through the air if there wasn't a web. I can't see it, but the web is there. That's your spirit team. That's your spirit team and your spirit guides and spirit in general, waiting on you to turn to them for help, because they're there and they're supporting you. You just don't have any idea. And that was me for the long time. That was me for the longest fucking time. For a long time, I didn't, I was like agnostic. I was like, maybe there is something, maybe there's not something. I have no idea. But normally I don't like the what ifs game, but maybe be what ifs about positive. What if it all works out? What if there is a spirit team that has my best interest in mind, that's actually protecting me and trying to get me to grow and become the happiest, most successful version of myself? What if, you know? It's like trying to use reverse psychology on yourself, I guess. I don't know if that would be reverse psychology technically. But yeah, what if maybe it gets better? You know? Also, one of the things that I have integrated into telling myself is allowing, whenever I was stuck in such a negative headspace, a negative mindset, and I thought things wouldn't work out or it wouldn't get better or things would be harder from here. What if I allowed the universe and my spirit team to prove me wrong? I just had to mentally and in that physically in my body and like my energy, my heart and my soul open up to the possibility that they might just be able to prove me and my negative beliefs wrong, which they did. And that was pretty fucking cool. I just flipped to the eagle, which is spirit. This is trust in your higher self. Yeah, I saw this one too. On the bottom. I pointed it out earlier. And I'll read it for you. When you live your life according to spiritual law, spirit's intent expresses through your personality easily and fluidly. Your light will shine if only you let it, and all that you want will come to you without ever needing to know how. To follow your spiritual path, it is only your job to listen to and then heed spirit's directives, and your life will flow quite easily and naturally. Your conscious mind is meant to be the receiver and transmitter of these urgings, translating the information sent from spirit through pure awareness to the physical realm in decipherable communication. Since your ego's willfulness can interfere and misdirect, you must pay close attention to discern which is which. Know that your higher self will only give you straightforward, positive, and encouraging support, whereas your ego's voice will tend to be negative and discouraging. Let this ageless wisdom. Does not matter how old you are, you can still grow, you can still change. An old dog can in fact learn new tricks. I don't give a damn what anybody else says. An old dog can learn new tricks. Fuck. Let this ageless wisdom that is your spiritual birthright come through so that you may shine with light and love upon yourself, others, and the world around you. Vision, courage, universality, okay, and masculinity. So, I'm going to let that one speak for itself. 10 out of 10, no notes. I think I might have had notes, but I don't anymore. Oh, I do. Hold on, let me backtrack. So, one of the best ways that I've been able to help decipher old programming and egoistic programming from alignment, intuition, spiritual guidance, my highest peaceful path, right, is urgency, is fear-based, ego-driven, capitalist mindset, right? So if it feels like it's urgent, if you feel like you have to do it right fucking now because, I don't know, the world's gonna explode or something, that's fear. That's not alignment. I heard something, fear is false evidence appearing with reality or appearing real. And a lot of times the fears that we have are programmed and conditioned into us as children when we are malleable. We have no other, aside from our parents and the people around us, we have no one to tell us what to believe and what to not believe. So we end up integrating these negative core beliefs and false ideals, and we get stuck with them for our lives. We'll go throughout our entire lives and we won't recognize that we hold these false beliefs in ourselves just because someone told us to them when we were children. That's what shadow work is. That's being, I feel this way about myself, but it's not me. It's somebody else's voice inside of me. And after a long, long time, we think it's our voice. It's shit like that. And actually, you know, we want to love ourselves. Like, inherently. That's what we want to do. But we're taught at a young age that it's not safe to do that. So we go our entire lives without doing that until it's brought to our conscious awareness that this is what we're doing. So my main goal is to help people be able to recognize that within themselves and, you know, actually for them to want to change those things, because it's possible. It's possible. And it will help you feel better. I feel like if we want to feel better, we have to understand that something's got to give. Something's got to give, and it's not going to be spirit. Honey, it's not going to be spirit. Spirit's not going to give. With crusty, musty, dusty attitudes, spirit's not going to give shit. Sorry, I flipped open to the cougar, which is confidence. It says be bold and take charge. And so I did my little fancy walk. Anyways, we're going to go to the porcupine. We're going to go to the porcupine. I flipped to the turtle again. Oh, okay. Turtle first. I said I was going to do the turtle, so we'll do the turtle. Stop trying to make something happen. Oh, yeah. So, with this subconscious work and reprogramming your fears and, you know, it's not going to happen overnight. If you think that it's going to, you can turn it around in a month or 2 weeks, you are dead wrong. Shoot that expectation down right now, because I'm telling you it's not going to happen. Okay? Because I'm telling you, after a month of consistent effort, I mean, no, I won't tell you like that. I'll tell you my experience. So it's hard as shit recognizing things that are unconscious. So it's a lot of trial and error. And it's a lot of making the mistake over and over and again and again, over and over again, and then recognizing afterwards that you made the mistake and you did the thing that you don't want to do. It's making that mistake over and over and over again and realizing afterwards, until the more you realize it afterwards. So it has a lot to do with introspection. Let me walk you through it. So when it comes to, this is how triggers are involved, right? So the reflection process is, let's start with making the mistake, or, you know, doing the subconscious thing that we want to address. Let's start there. So we do the thing subconsciously, right? And then it turns out to be a negative thing because it's a negative core belief that we have, or it's something that we do that perpetuates harm, or, you know, negativity. We do that. We don't notice that we did that until after we'd already done it. So step one, you realize that you did it, right? Step two, reflect back to what happened right before. What triggered that negativity? What triggered you to do the thing, to say the thing, to think the thing? What happened before? And it's hard to recognize what happened before because it's so unconscious. We're moving consistently from unconscious fears and beliefs that we have ingrained in ourselves. So once we do the thing that we realize that we don't want to do anymore, realizing what came before that is hard, very hard. So it'll take a couple times of doing this to figure out what these triggers are, right? And once you've been able to sort of get a grasp of what these triggers are, getting the triggers to be your, like, those are what draws your attention in as well. Being able to focus on those triggers helps with rewiring, because once you get triggered, alternately, learning about what you do. I'm so sorry, I'm all over the fucking place right now. I'm not very good at just going off the cuff with these things. I'm much better at writing things, but you know what? I'm learning. This is a work in progress. So when it comes to the triggers, unconscious fears, unconscious beliefs, things that we are doing unconsciously, the triggers will make it happen, and then we will have a negative outcome. We won't realize that we did the thing until the negative outcomes arrived. So you have to do backtracking. The negative outcome happened. Okay, what caused this negative outcome to happen? Bam, the negative core belief thing that we had, the reaction. Okay, what caused this reaction to happen? And then you'll get the triggers. Realizing what these triggers are, that's the most key part, because you have to remember these triggers. Remembering the triggers and keeping them in your conscious awareness. Keeping your triggers in your conscious awareness will help you create that new neural pathway. So, learning about these, you learn about the alternate beliefs that you want to instill in yourselves, the things that you want to do differently. You know you have to change this, right? What do I do instead? Learn about that. Figure out, what else should I do here? Well, that's where you would implement the new belief that you want. Nothing will change if you don't have a new belief that you want to instill in the place of the old negative belief, a new habit, a new way of thinking, a new way of approaching something, acting instead of reacting. So after the trigger happens, that's when you have to take conscious control and awareness of your actions to prevent yourself from acting on that subconscious action, right? And it's going to be really hard because you've done this your entire life. It's going to be really, really hard. Every single bone and fiber of your being is going to tell you to do that. Everything besides your mind. And this is where we gain control of our mind to have it work for us instead of against us. Really, mind over matter. I didn't believe that for the longest time because I didn't have control of my mind. And then once I gained control of my mind, I realized mind over matter. The power of our mind is so fucking strong. So we integrate the new belief or the new course of action that we want to take as soon as the trigger happens. Whether that's walking away instead of causing an argument, whether that's taking breaths or speaking how you feel instead of immediately turning to get into an argument or getting defensive or having a disagreement or doing a negative coping skill. Whatever it is you want to replace, make sure you have your triggers and the new thing that you want to do in the front of your mind. And you might have a lot of negative core beliefs and a lot of negative patterns that you want to change. Try to focus on one at a time, or even two at a time, maybe three. Don't overdo it. Don't max yourself out, because that's a lot to be juggling around in there at once, right? And I imagine you got other things and other places that you want to do. Having too many mental tabs open will drain you so fucking quick, like that. Not even funny. So try to focus on one at a time. You know, it's not going to be quick. It is not going to be overnight. This will be the span of multiple months, potentially multiple years. It is a new lifestyle that you are integrating. It is not just a new habit. It is not just a new way of thinking. It is a new lifestyle, because you are changed. This is how you take control and change your life. Straight channeled that shit, yo. So it's not going to happen overnight. Here, I just flipped to the raven because I was on the turtle and then I flipped to the front and then I flipped back. I was thinking about going back to the turtle to continue talking about how it's not going to happen overnight. But the raven, magic. Own your power. Own your power. For real. Because you are powerful. And you have the ability to make your life happen. Your life is happening because of you. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, you know, that's up to you. That's your decision. Let's go with the porcupine. Okay, the raven and the owl are what I'm on right now. Trying to keep yourself little by denying your power so you won't be a threat to anyone merely keeps you in a false bubble of safety. Of course, at least that way you won't get noticed much or stand out. Well, that trick is worn out its welcome. You're more powerful than you think you are, so it's time to stop pretending. I just heard a fucking crow, so literally. So stop doubting, worrying, or making excuses, and own your capacity to be a powerful magician. No, for real. Now, let me get you the porcupine, okay? And then I think we'll be out of here. Because I'm getting really hot. I need to turn on a fan or something. I'm not finding it because I'm not thinking. I just saw the otter. That's cute. I like otters. Otter is surrender. Let go of control. Here. I know none of these are actually any of the cards that I pulled, okay? But they're being drawn to my attention for a reason. So something in here is for you. Something in here is probably for me, too. So you think you're in control of the situation, do you? Well, that's something that everybody thinks much of the time. These efforts are fuck, I can't see. God damn it. I'm getting riled up. Turn this on. Well, okay. The candle decidedly, it didn't want to be on. These efforts at maintaining control are often most based in habitual, conditioned fear born out of many experiences where you witnessed others who were out of control. Isn't this what the fuck I was just saying? I mean, I've read a lot of these. I've not read every single one of these, but like, that's how sound this fucking wisdom is, yo. I be knowing shit. It was scary, dangerous, and maybe even life-threatening. You can be assured that now there's no more danger and that you're safe. You can now safely relinquish control. Letting go of control does not mean giving up. Giving up means throwing your hands in the air in an admission of defeat, which I've fucking done that, okay? Having a Jesus take the wheel moment, sometimes we need that for our sanity. But doing that after so long is letting your life pass you by, and then your subconscious is creating your own reality. We are the creators of our own reality, whether we know or admit it or not. Letting go of control doesn't mean giving up. Giving up means throwing your hands up in the air in admission of defeat. Instead, true surrender means releasing any attempts to force your agenda on life. It means opening your hands and heart and accepting the direction of spirit. In that acceptance, your will becomes the will of spirit, and life flows much more easily through and as you. Additional associations, sensuality, merging, family, and playfulness. Can I please get the porcupine? There, thank you. I was on the otter because I did that, and the little pages stuck up right here, and otter over here, porcupine over here. Okay. Porcupine, innocence, free yourself of guilt and shame. See the world through the eyes of a child, trusting your inner mother and father to be there whenever you need them. Protection is available when you need it, so you can feel safe in expressing yourself in all the different ways that you've always wanted to. There's boldness in innocence, and no more need to hide behind any childhood guilt about perceived misdeeds or be consumed with shame about revealing your true self. You're a gentle soul and have never intentionally harmed anyone. And even if you have, well, you can make amends in a way, at least with yourself, you know? The other person, like, it's like, there's not bad people, there's good people that do bad things like that. Though, we're not, no, I'm not talking about the freaks. I'm not talking about those guys. I'm talking 1% type shit, but if any of the 1%'s watching my videos, that's fucking crazy. Anyways. I'm talking top 1%, okay? Not like rare 1%, few people that manage to see my videos. I'm talking, okay. If you know, you know, which I think pretty much everybody knows at this point. I don't know about them. I can't clock their souls. That's general consensus. We don't like those guys. You're a gentle soul and have never intentionally harmed anyone. Release any guilt over your behavior or shame about yourself in this situation. There's no need to feel resentful, victimized, or arrogant towards anyone else either. Be the child of God that you are in your heart. And because I experienced religious trauma and for a long time held a lot of like disdain and resentment towards the word God, because I was like, Christianity, mean, colonial, ew. But a lot of times the word God is really just referring to source, spirit, you know, the energy that makes life, the spirit of everything, you know? That's why I call it spirit. Be the child of spirit that you are. In your heart, live in the garden. I don't. Okay, I'm not going to overanalyze that. Others may cause you to prickle, but truthfully, most of the time what they say or do to you is harmless and not a threat. So be joyful and grateful, and let everything you do be done with complete abandon. Dance, laugh, sing, and be free again, just as you were on the day you were born. Humility, protection, sensitivity, and trust are the additional associations. And if you're having an incredibly hard time letting go of anger, resentment, and bitterness, it's because of the past, isn't it? You're letting your past wounds bleed all over your life. Candle flicker. Letting your past wounds bleed all over your life sucks any potential happiness that you may have coming at you away. You're staining all your new white clothes red because you won't patch up this wound you have. You think your white clothes came red. If you need a different analogy, we cannot change the past. We can't. The past happened. There's nothing you can do about it besides change. If you don't want it to happen again, you make the conscious effort to do something differently. That's the only way we can prevent that from happening again. And like, living in the past won't make your future any better. Okay. That's the video. That's all I got for you guys. I hope this helped. I hope there's something you can take away from this. Let me see. I don't know. They told I gotta put the book down, but let me see if there's anything else that affirmations! The video's not over! I forgot. Let me get you some sweary affirmations before we get out of here. Okay. Oh. Okay. Positive vibes only, fuck negativity. And then this is what, so it came, I normally don't ever read these in reverse, but all of my cards are actually upright right now, so the fact that this one came out and flipped itself upside down is kind of crazy. So, I don't know, this will be the first time I'm interpreting it as a reverse. The card, oh, what chakra is that? Sacral chakra. Maybe do some chakra work. Work on your root and sacral chakras. Do some meditation, listen to some frequency music. So the card that came out said, I am my own best friend. Other people are total dicks. It came out very distinctly in reverse. Like, I'll show you. This card, it came out of the deck, flew out, and went. And this is how it was laying there. So, I take it you are not your best friend. You just think other people are total dicks. You gotta, I'm tapping on this chakra here. It's giving sacral chakra, root chakra. Let me double check which chakra that is. That's the sacral. You gotta get into your creativity, passionate energy, and focus on self-love. Self-love is huge right now. You have to love yourself. I mean, you don't have to, but the gates to happiness is self-compassion. Like, if you don't trust in yourself, how can you trust anybody else, you know? Nobody can get inside of your skin and wear your mind, and like read your mind, or even if they can read your mind, they shouldn't have to. Nobody can know your wants and desires and what your soul needs besides you. That's all you, pumpkin. Anything else they need to know? Not this deck. Anything else they need to know? Shit. Okay. We got the Pelican, which says, let go of your judgments. I like this card. I'll read you the card. Oh, we got 3. This video's long. It's only getting longer. Pelican, forgiveness. Let go of your judgments. Rabbit, fertility. Your creativity is at its peak. Raccoon, resourcefulness. You have all the resources you need. So you need to get into, that's what the sacral chakra was. You need to get into your creative energy. Sexual energy is creative energy. All our creativity, most of it comes from our chakras, or fucking sacral chakra. Not just the chakras, but our sacral chakra. That is the creativity chakra, essentially. Out of the 7 main ones, I don't know if it's actually 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Out of the 7 main ones, the sacral chakra, you gotta get into your creativity. Like, just do it. Make your dreams come true. Let me read these for you, and then I'll let you out of here. I was gonna say get out of your hair. You also may need to set some boundaries with yourself, potentially, because I got the bear with boundaries on your on your bottom. On your bottom. Stand your ground is why I said your, but stand your ground. Put your self-love and your creativity at its first. Play that instrument, sing that song, do that dance, paint that painting, write that book, fucking whatever. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's a form of creative expression and you're actually creating. We can get so fucking miserable if we don't create anything. Consuming needs to be balanced and counteracted with creating. It's a must. It is a fundamental human must. We must create. It is one of our parts of us that is like the direct descendant of God. Being the creator of everything on earth, that is the part of, like, this is where I, as a fellow American, most of my lineage is Christians, right? So this is how I honor my ancestors, is taking the Christianity and not the evil ways of control, but the part that I can find in every other religion elsewhere. That's the stuff that I would actually take from Christianity, is the stuff that I also find in other ways of life that is not just centered around the white man. But in the white man not being Jesus, but colonizers, because Jesus was not a white man. I hope that is general consensus. Jesus was not a white man. Jesus was Palestinian. And he lived in the area of Palestine. And though he was Jewish, Judaism as we know it currently, like people of Israel, that is not the same Jews in Judaism that existed way back when. They are different. Jesus was a brown man. Anyways. But that is our part of us, that is us being made in God's image, as God being a creator, the creator, spirit, the creator of the world, the maker of plant life. That is our part of God within us, is our ability to create. Our ability to create something new, make something, put life into it. Like literally women are born in the eyes of God, being so that women are able to bring life to this earth. Like create something. Sexual energy and creative energy are two sides of the exact same coin. If you have a lot of passion and potentially lustful energy, you need to create. That is your soul telling you need to create. I'm sorry if I'm waving my hand in your face. I'm looking at you and I'm pointing at you, okay? You need to create. That is what I'm being fucking told right now. You need to create. Like, that is a deep, if you don't know what your needs are, if you're not able to recognize them, I can tell you this right now, because it is a fundamental need of every human to ever exist, ever. Create. Back when we didn't have all this automated industrial bullshit, we actually had to make our shit from scratch. That was spinning wool, knitting clothes, making bowls, fucking easy, not easy, but fucking basic primal shit. But now we have the ability, like, this is where we are blessed as fuck to live in this day and age. We can look at all the negative shit, because there's a fuck ton, but we don't have to be all primal. We don't have to caveman it. We have the ability to have all these cool different products that are at our disposal to be able to enhance our art and the things that we get to create. Look at this fucking cup. This shit's beautiful. This is beautiful. Somebody created this. Orchids and roses. Someone named Christina. She did a wonderful fucking job. They couldn't make this in the primal age. So take where we are at right now to your advantage and create. Because you can create some amazing shit, and I know it. I know it because I feel it. I feel it in my body that you are capable of great things. But I think you're holding yourself back because you don't think you're capable of great things. And that makes me sad for you, because I know you're capable. You have to instill that knowing in yourself. Because I can know it for you, but I can't. I can know it, but that won't make you do anything. You have to know it for yourself. You have to feel it in your body. Because I can know all day. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry can know all day, but we can't make you do shit. So create. Let me get you with the pelican. See, this is what I'm talking about. I'm a fucking channel. I talk, and I talk, and I talk some more. Damn it, do I talk. These cards are just things for me to go off of, essentially. So, okay, yeah, we're gonna have to wrap it up soon. My hips fucking hurt. Your hips could be hurting too, because, I mean, also trauma is stored in the hips. Move those hips, dance or something. Pelican forgiveness, let go of your judgments. Each time you judge yourself or others, you immediately create an illusion of separation. Separation from your environment, from other human beings, and most critically, separation from the Creator and all of creation. Immersing yourself in the illusion creates pain that manifests as hurt, anger, and even attack in words and deed. And if you stop and reflect, you'll find that what you judge in others is really a projection of a shadow aspect of yourself. Therefore, the source of these judgments is not just contained in the other. It is something in yourself that you may not be aware of. Once you realize how judgments separate, there's an opportunity to forgive. First, the other person for his or her perceived transgression or shortcomings. Then, yourself as you identify the shadow aspect in you that you had projected onto this individual. In the light of this realization, an illusion of separation vanishes. This is true forgiveness, not an empty mantra you repeat to yourself over and over again in support of some false notion of forgiveness, but a genuine release of any and all judgments. When you have forgiven, this act returns you to a state of love, acceptance, and peacefulness. That's how you get rid of that fucking bitterness. You'll know when this has happened because you'll feel the natural and tranquil state of unity with the Creator and all of creation. Additional associations, I was going to say anticipations. Grace, unselfishness, self-sacrifice, cooperation. Rabbit. A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S. Oh, I flipped to the raccoon, which is the one after it, but since I flipped to it first, we'll do it now. You have all the resources you need. It's the card of resourcefulness. Everything you need is right in front of you if only you look. There is no need to be fussing about this and that, creating drama and turmoil, worrying about whether you'll have enough the next hour, the next day, or the next week. Whatever you need will be there. You might have to forage a little, but it will. What? You might have to forage a little, but it will, as in it will be there. Trust that. There's nothing to fret or worry about. Not really. Use your brain. Use your brain. Your brain? The thing in your head? Yeah, use it. Sorry. Shout out Joe Bart. Use your brain and intuition and participation to not only help you solve the problem, but to actually solve the problem. I'm getting really passionate because I've been here. I understand. And it's so much passion and excitement and like energy that I have for you and I want to give you, and I just want to shake you because you can fucking do it. You can do it because I can do it. And I am just a normal person. She's just like every other bitch because we all bleed the same fucking color. We all have the ability to tap into our psychic fucking powers, our intuition. We all have it. We all have access to this shit. We just have to figure out how. And once we figure out how, we can learn how to implement it. We are all capable of this. There is not one person on this earth who's not capable of this shit. I do not think. Well, besides people that are like, unfortunately, actually brain dead. If you have conscious thought, you can do this. Because we are all special. But in that, nobody is special. Because we are all special. If that makes sense. We are all unique individuals. But in that, we are all human. Under your skin, everybody is pink. We all bleed the same color. Let me get back to reading. At first, it may not be obvious where to look, and that's why you have to poke around a little bit until you turn up with what you need for this or any other situation. Sometimes when you follow your hunch and look under the couch for your lost wallet, you find the wallet. And don't get tweaked if all the steps don't lead you to take the immediate... Sorry. Don't get tweaked. Say don't fucking tweak out, okay? Don't get tweaked if all the steps you take don't lead to an immediate solution. Don't proceed blindly or out of anxiety or fear. That's not going to help. I swear it won't help. It's impossible to hear your intuition or your brain when you're jumping around randomly. So relax. Trust that what you need will turn up. Additional associations, stealth, ingenuity, cleverness, and dexterity. And Sirabit. Sirabit. This is an incredibly creative and fertile time for you right now. That has multiple meanings. Proceed with caution. In this economy, I'd stick to creating art. But you do you. I'm not going to stop you. Get going on those projects you've always wanted to do or those that you've started but haven't finished. These are not necessarily ones that have anything to do with earning money, but those with which you have a passion for, whether writing, painting, sculpting. I fucking love it when Spirit confirms exactly what the fuck I was talking about. Whether writing, painting, sculpting, or some other expressive art form. Don't even think about whether you're good enough. It doesn't matter. Oh, that's not what it says, but still. Thinking you're not good enough is just one of those old programming limiting beliefs. It doesn't matter whether or not you're good enough. Just do what you love. Being successful isn't real. The only success that exists is whether or not your heart's happy, whether you're fulfilled. So, don't even think about whether you're good enough, and don't measure your creations against someone else's. Don't fucking do that. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. I'm going to say it again. Don't measure your creations against somebody else's. Thief of fucking joy. But you can measure. See, I watched a video and it was about people were like, it was old friends having a conversation and they were like, you made me quit this. And they were like, oh, in that case, somebody else made me quit this. And it wasn't that the person actually made them quit that. But so what it was is they discovered that they didn't have a love for music. It was like the girl, she discovered that she didn't love the music like he did. He fucking played the Pirates of the Caribbean theme song by ear on piano for fun, while she was playing Mozart and some shit in piano classes because she thought she had to do this. She played for 1 more month and quit because she didn't love it. And he was like, oh, in that case, he played in the professional orchestra in Chicago. And he was like, this other guy made me quit playing trumpet because the other guy, he might have playing stand-up bass or something. I don't know. But whatever, he was playing that in the professional orchestra and he liked the high stakes. He liked the pressure. That made him, that lit him up. That turned him on. That's that turning sexual energy into creative energy. And so he fucked heavy with the professional orchestra. But the guy who played trumpet, he didn't feel that way. The pressure freaked him out. It made him feel stressful. He was not having a good time. So he quit playing in the professional orchestra because he didn't love it. Pay attention to the creative things that you do and whether or not you're doing it just because you're good at it, or because doing something just because you're good at it is coming from insecurity and lack because you need the external validation. Doing something you're good at is because you're doing it for other people to acknowledge the fact that you're good at it. But doing something that you love, you don't need other people to acknowledge whether or not you're good at it. You don't need to be good at it because you love it either way. Shit at it or not, you're doing something that you love, and that's the important part, you know? Where are we? Don't measure your creations against anyone else's. Let them be the unique manifestations of your fertile imagination without comparing them to anything or anyone else. And yes, I said fertile funny. Sometimes I don't like saying fertile. I just don't like it. It sounds like turtle. And I say turtle like turtle, not turtle. So I'm going to say fertile because fertile. Anyway, if you're spending a lot of time frittering away precious time on things that really aren't all that important, then take all that energy and pour it into your creative pursuits. If everything to you is work, 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 then it's even more important that you play through these channels. All those distractions sidetrack you from knowing the joy of pure, unadulterated artistic revelation. Go for it and let yourself feel uninhibited joy in the process. Additional associations: vigilance, abundance, agility, and sacrifice. Yes, I knew this fucking card would show up. I love it. Thank you, Spirit. So we're going to leave it with this. Here's your sweary affirmation. Get up, and show the world you're a fucking legend.